The Spicer universal joint grease path begins at the grease fitting and ends at the bearing seals. This illustrates a typical universal joint being greased as installed in the vehicle. Notice all 4 bearing seals purge and all air and liquid contaminants are forced out prior to grease purging from the seals. The grease starts at the grease fitting, totally filling the cavities inside the cross before entering the bearing cup. It then fills the trunnion grooves, forcing grease to enter the needle bearings before filling the bearing cup. Next, the grease simultaneously fills the bearing cup around the needle bearings. Again, notice the bearing seal purges air and liquid contaminants prior to purging grease from the seals. In situations where bearing cups must be removed, hydraulic effects of the grease can cause grease to be pulled out of the grease path during the removal of the bearing cups. This is why a universal joint must be relubricated after it's assembled into a vehicle. Relubrication and the purging of all 4 seals will force the air out of the grease path and ensure complete fill of the bearing cup. This is an illustration of greasing a universal joint with unequal seal pressure due to tolerant stack-up in components. This can result in not all seals purging. In this case, 2 seals purged and 2 seals failed to purge. Notice the bearing seals that did not purge failed to get a complete fill of grease path. These voids can cause an insufficient grease condition and premature failure. This is why it is essential for all bearing seals to be purged. When 1 or more seals fail to purge, as demonstrated in this illustration, it becomes necessary to take steps to relieve tension at the seal area. You can begin by moving the drive shaft end from side to side while applying gun pressure. If the seal still fails to purge, loosen the cap screws on the bearing assembly plate of the affected seals and back the bearing assembly out of the yoke bore about 1/16 of an inch. Continue to apply gun pressure. If loosening the bearing assembly does not cause the seals to purge, remove the bearing assembly to determine the cause of blockage. After all 4 seals are purged, install new bolts and torque to specification. Remember, if you have to loosen any bolts or straps for any reason, you must replace with new hardware and torque to proper specifications. To ensure proper lubrication of a universal joint, be sure that the entire grease path from the grease fitting to the bearing seals is full. This can only be accomplished by purging all 4 bearing seals. For further information, see your Spicer representative.